Welcome to the only figure-of-8 track on the F1 calendar. We're here at Suzuka for qualifying today ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix. I'm expecting a strong showing here today from the Red Bull team. They really love this classic track and have had so much success at Suzuka over the years.
I think this could be a showdown between the Mercedes and Red Bulls today. The Red Bull team have enjoyed incredible success here over the years, but the Mercedes package could be too much for the Milton Keynes-based team.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Button Bounces Back, episode number 14 I believe we're on now. So we're towards the sort of last third of the F1 calendar now, which is kind of spooky. We seem to have absolutely raced through this series, but today's race will be taking place at the Suzuka circuit in Japan. Really famous circuit. I think that I heard the commentator mention it's the only figure-of-8 circuit on the entire F1 calendar, but one thing is for sure, it's a very fast circuit again, which once again doesn't suit our McLaren too well. But the positive is, after this race, we sort of get into the more slow circuits, I believe. We've got things like Russia coming up, Mexico. There's a few sort of circuits that actually suit the McLaren a little bit more. So touch wood, we'll be able to get a few more good results under our belt before the end of the season. But you're watching qualifying at the minute, as you can see, we're sitting in 7th, 8th place now, dropping down the grid a little bit in this little straight section. And I didn't really know what to expect. It's a track that I do know fairly well, because I'm sure many of you are aware Suzuka is on loads and loads of games. It's on Forza Motorsport, it's on Gran Turismo, it's on F1 obviously, it's on loads of games, so it's a track that I'm very familiar with, but like I say, it just didn't suit the car at all, and you'll see just what happens in a moment or two. But if you would like to throw a like on the video, that would be absolutely awesome, just to show that you're still enjoying the series and everything. And also subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We keep on growing nicely lately, actually. We've got a steady growth on the go, and that's really nice to see. So thank you very much to everyone that is a new subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, like I just said, make sure to click that button down below the video. But as you can see, that straight is an absolute killer for us. It drops all the way down into 15th place. And we take this last corner very poorly as well, this last chicane. We do actually temporarily climb up to 12th, but then we'll eventually drop all the way back down to 15th because we just don't get the best run off. And I believe, correct me if anyone knows any different, but I'm pretty sure that's our worst qualifying session of the entire season so far, 15th place. I think we've always been sort of around about 10th, either a bit above it, either a bit below it. We've had a couple of really good sessions, obviously, but 15th I'm pretty sure is our worst. So I'm going to hand you over to the commentators now to paint the picture for the race day.
It's Sunday afternoon here in Suzuka, Japan, at one of the most exciting circuits on this year's calendar. Welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix. We knew this was a track that suited the Mercedes well, but no one would have expected that Lewis Hamilton would have created such a gap to his rivals in qualifying. If he stays out of trouble and the car continues to perform, well, victory should surely be a formality.
You can never be sure if qualifying pace will turn into race performance. It often depends on how focused the car setup was for a single lap on new tyres. But even if he's slightly slower than those around him, he'll be trying to make his car as wide as possible on track to defend his position.
Lewis Hamilton described the win last time out as one of the best of his career. With the strength of that Mercedes this season, he has the perfect tool at his disposal to get more race wins.
Well, we all know how good Lewis can be when his mind is in the right place. He can be really hard on himself though when things don't go his way, but when they do, he's pretty much unbeatable.
So, as you can see currently on the screen, lads, I thought because we were back in 15th place, I thought why not try the ideal opportunity to try strategy 2, which is the one where you start off on the slower tyre and finish on the quicker tyre. I thought, well, may as well have an experiment in this race. We've got nothing to lose. We started in 15th. If it works well, we'll get in the points. If it doesn't, we won't finish any higher, or we'll come even lower down in the grid. But I thought, you know what? Perfect time to try it out and see how we get on with it. But you can see the start, absolute chaos. Sergio Perez in front of us running a bit wide. Nasser, I think it is, to the side of us coming into us. Or was it Ericsson? I'm not sure. But as you always expect, it's always chaos at the start of the races, and it's no different. It's probably even worse actually when you're further back in the grid. But you can see there's a really good duel going on in front of me here between, is it Perez and Maldonado? Yeah, Perez and Maldonado going wheel to wheel. But we managed to actually sneak inside of Perez and then back across and on the inside of Maldonado. Really nice little move. There's a few little bits of contact in those first few corners, but it's sort of to be expected. There's nothing major, and already we've clawed our way back to, oh, I say that, yeah, 13th. Are we going to take him? Yes, I think we hold on round here. We run a bit wide, but we do hold on, so we're in 13th place, so we're taking a couple of places straight off the bat. But a couple of things I want to mention in this race. Firstly, most of the race is absolutely perfect, the footage is fine, but you'll notice there's a short section when I pit in where the sound and the video isn't synced up at all for some reason. I don't know what's going on with my Elgato at the minute, but I'm having some issues with it. But It's only like a 30-second clip, but you'll notice the audio is way out, so forgive me for that one. But it's actually terrible. I've already recorded the next race in Russia, and I have major Elgato issues, and I've actually since then I've reinstalled it and installed it again, but I've not recorded another episode since, so I'm hoping that will fix the problem. So I apologise in advance for the little audio. I mean, look at that, by the way, bloody Perez, aggressive as fuck. I apologise in advance for this race, for that the short section. It's not too bad in this one, like I said, it doesn't affect anything at all really, but in the Russian race it absolutely ruins the race altogether, so I apologise ahead of time for that one. I'm sure I'll speak more about it when I'm recording the commentary for the race as well, but you can see we're currently in 14th place, so we've technically gained 1 place since our starting grid position, but we just can't hold off people off on this straight section. He's Danny Kvyat, comes past us, knocks us back to 15th, and he pretty much for now will drive off into the sunset. You have to remember we are on the slower tyre now as well, so we are expected to be behind these cars and hopefully peg them back when we do change to the quicker tyre. But the other thing that I want to talk about, as we're heading into the final third of this career mode that I've done with Jenson Button, I do also want to do another one once I finish this one, but I'm not quite sure who to do one with. I'm thinking of doing one with Ricardo, because I think that would be a car that I can challenge for the title with. It's not going to be too easy. I was also thinking of Verstappen, see how well we can do with Verstappen. And I was also thinking about Vettel, but I thought Vettel might be a bit too easy. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. That, by the way, as well, really crazy. Ericsson took us really cleanly around the outside. I think it was, I'm not sure who it was actually. It could have been Sergio Perez, then went for a bit of a pass and was a bit too aggressive. And then they both end up running wide, so we get both the places back. And this is the point as well, lap 5, going on to lap 6, you can see all of the cars are in the pits, or a lot of them anyway. So we jump up all the way into 4th place, and this is now make or break for this strategy, because we've got to go this lap and another lap on these tyres now, which are a bit more worn, and if I get some good laps in now, it'll basically make the strategy pay off. You can see we're in 2nd because we did another lap and there was another couple of cars pitting in as well. I decided to come in a lap early so we can have a lap longer on the quicker tyre, but it might wear off, so it could be dreadful. But I thought it was worth the risk, because my tyres at this point, I always get confused between which one's the quicker and which one's the slower, but I think at the start I was on the prime and that tyre it was dying, so I thought we'll get in there, get in the pits, get some fresh tyres on and just see what happens from there. And as you can see in the top left, position wise, we dropped down to 12th, dropped down to 13th, and we actually come out exactly where we were before, just behind Maldonado, which is absolutely fantastic now, because we've now got the quicker tyre, so we should be able to really push on. And you can see this is the point where the audio in the video, by the way, is completely screwed up. I don't know what caused it, like I say, but hopefully the reinstallation of Elgato will fix that. If not, then I really don't know. We'll find out in the long run. But you can see Maldonado, who was really pulling away from us before we had the pace, all of a sudden now we've got the quicker tyre and we are absolutely reeling him in at a rate of knots, get right behind his backside, and it is absolutely crazy what a difference these tyres can make, like between the quicker and the slower tyre. It's just absolutely mental that it can make such a difference. But you can see we really take that much better than him. Then we make a nice move up the inside. He runs a little bit wide as well, and we managed to pull away. And that is 13th place that we're now into, and we'll be aiming to get into the points. Carlos Sainz is the next car that we come across. We're now on to lap 9 of 13, I think it is, yeah, 13, and he's just in front of us again. We've got like much better pace than him right now, and this is the beauty of this strategy, and I think it really worked quite well in this race, because we're able to keep in touch with the majority of the pack. And then you can see now, look, we're in 12th place, right behind NASA. And I think we actually got a bit lucky here, to be honest, because there's a bit of a snake, as you can see. There's an incident here as well with Massa and Hulkenberg. Look at this, they both go wide, managed to take up the outside, but oh my god, he was so close to coming into us there. But yeah, I think it's Roman Grosjean is at the front of this snake, and I think he may have had some sort of mechanical problem, because he seemed to be holding everybody up, and I think that was why there was that many snakes. As you can see, there's Vettel behind him, and he's just looking for a way to get past, and he does eventually find a way past, so we actually have Grosjean up next. And like I say, I think he had some sort of mechanical problem, because he just seemed to be holding everyone up in that little pack that they had there. But we end up taking Grosjean fairly easily. Like I say, we did have the pace on most cars at this point. We take him, no contact there, and he just seemed to jump out the way, which is pretty crazy. But we're now behind Vettel, who's in 7th. We're in 8th place, so I was really happy. I mean, our objective was 12th after our poor qualifying. But I was any points that I'd have got, I'd have took 10th to get 1 point after the qualifying. But to get 8th is absolutely superb, because unfortunately we couldn't catch Vettel. His car was just too quick for us, even though we had the better tyres. So we ended up coming in 8th place as we come up to the checkered flag. And I actually think, although at the start of the weekend I'd have said that's an average result before qualifying, after qualifying. I think that's an absolutely superb result, and the strategy really did pay dividends. You can see Sebastian Vettel in 7th, Verstappen in 6th, absolutely awesome result for Max Verstappen, but unfortunately Daniel Ricciardo was in 5th, and of course, as you all know, he is our main championship rival. We don't want him to be getting the big points, and unfortunately he massively outraced us at Suzuka. But you'll see in a second, going into the driver's standings, it does also mean that Daniel Ricciardo has jumped above us, so we're back down into 7th place. No, is it 7th place? It's either 7th or 8th, I can't remember. I'm waiting for it to flash up. Yeah, 8th place, just behind Ricciardo, and just a little way off Massa. But like I say, leave a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new. Russia is the next race, but there are some technical recording difficulties. I've still got a good portion of the video done and it's fine, so I look forward to speaking to you in that video. That may well be it tomorrow. It may be back-to-back F1 episodes, so in fact I think it probably will be. So I'll speak to you in that video tomorrow, lads. Have a good one, speak to you soon, DJ out.